Right, sitting here with the IBO Youth World Champion Roarke Knapp, and I'm going to get to the obvious question first and foremost because, I mean, you've been wanting this belt forever. It's now you've got it. How do you feel, firstly?
I feel great. All my hard work paid off. A lot of sacrifices and ups and downs, on the journey towards winning this belt. So to win it was definitely one of the most relieving and satisfying victories. Even though it was short-lived, it was just for me, it was one of those things that I didn't think it would happen because the belt kept getting put off the line. When it would get put up, I honestly felt like it was going to be quite a while until I would become a champion of any sort. So when it finally happened, I was obviously ecstatic that it would happen. And even in the dressing room, when I was getting ready, I had my gloves on, warming up and stuff. I still thought to myself, "Shit, this is happening." I actually couldn't. I kept telling myself, "This is actually happening. I'm gonna, potentially walk out of this ring as a champion." And it happened, and it feels great. All the hard work paid off, and this is just the start.
Well, I mean, you were given a guy, Simeon. I mean, he was an undefeated guy. I mean, quite an intimidating guy if you think about it. Like he comes with his story, he comes with his power. There's a whole lot of things that go into fighting out. Mentally, it's always tough. But I mean, dealing with him on the day, first round knockout. I mean, did you expect all that to happen?
I didn't know. I'll be very honest. I didn't expect it to happen like that. But this is boxing, as you say. One shot changes it all, and that's what happened. One shot changed everything. Honestly, I didn't press for a knockout or anything like that. I knew Simon had heavy hands. I knew he was quite fit, and I knew he's been knocked down, and I know he's quite a dangerous fighter in that sense. When you knock him down, he comes back, guns blazing. So I honestly didn't want to push for a knockout. I just wanted to get going. Use some skill, take it easy, not make any silly mistakes because he's got heavy hands.
Yeah.
The record speaks for itself. But I suppose I just timed him well coming in, and that was it. That was all she wrote.
What did you make of the fact? I mean, obviously, maybe an SA title on the line would have been great as well. But I mean, you got your youth title. Would you have wanted both on the line?
Definitely would have been cool to have an SA title. To have two straps around my waist. It would have been very cool to actually go down and say that I was a South African champion. But it never happened. It's not a train smash. I'm a youth world champion. So there's always bigger and better things. It would have been cool to have the SA title, yes, but it's not a train smash that it didn't happen, to be very honest.
And the next step now, I mean, you're feeling your evolution and you're developing into like a much better boxer than you've been. I think you obviously, as you grow in your career, how do you feel and where do you feel you are and what sort of opponents do you want to be fighting?
To be very honest, at this point, I'm very confident in myself, and I don't mean to say it in a cocky way at all, but the hard work is being put in. It gets put in on a daily basis. So why would you not be confident? I've just become a champion. The confidence is there. I'm starting to believe in myself a lot more than I ever did, just because I'm proving myself correct, if that makes sense. Marco would always tell me these things. My friends, my family would always tell me these things, and I never truly believed it. I would always think that they're just doing that to be nice to me, right? But now I'm starting to prove it to myself. So I'm excited at the possibilities. Whoever my opponents are in the future, whoever Rodney Berman and Golden Gloves scheduled for me to fight, I'm very confident that I'll do very well against them and come out victorious. That's just the way I see it. And I don't mean that in a cocky way at all. That's just I'm putting in the work to get that confidence, and I believe it'll just get better and better.
I know it is a new year, and I know that there's like a lot of different options that you're probably going to have to explore this year with Golden Gloves, and they're going to talk to you about different things. But is there anything that's set in concrete so far this year that you're going to be taking on?
No, not at the moment. At the moment, there's a potential date. Obviously, I won't say anything yet. Nothing's confirmed. So until then, I'm just going to keep chipping away and keep improving, working on myself, chasing after what I want, and that's that. Whatever happens. Whoever they want me to fight, that's what happens. Until then, I'll just keep working on myself and trying to become the best fighter and athlete that I could possibly become.
I'll ask a bit of a fan question here because obviously you have that one loss. One day perhaps you want to avenge it, I'm sure, but it has to make sense. And I'm assuming from Brandon's side, your side, there has to be something on the line as well for it to actually make sense.
Yeah.
Is that realistic this year?
I wouldn't be able to speak on that. That I don't know. I have no idea. I'd be lying if I said I knew anything about that. Would I be open to a rematch with Brandon? Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I won't chase it, but if the rematch presents itself, I'll take it. Open arms. But as far as anything goes at the moment, there is no word on that. Nothing has been said. So Unfortunately, I'm not going to obviously make a big deal of it. If it happens, 100% great. If it doesn't, same motivation, doesn't matter, doesn't make a difference. I feel like I'm on my own journey now, and I'm starting to understand the importance of that. So whatever happens, happens. If it does happen, it does. Whatever. It's what it is, to be very honest.
And on a personal level, do you want to, like this year, because obviously we always at the beginning of the year, we sort of clearing up what we want to do for the year. Do you want more belts? Do you want to defend your belts?
Yeah,
what's the aim?
You can't be in the sport if you don't want more belts. You know, the more accolades, the better. It would be lovely to be able to walk around and say I'm a multi-champion. You know, of course that's what we're in for. To be very honest, I remember starting the sport, never really thinking I'd actually make something of myself. You know, that becoming a champion or getting to a certain level is so far-fetched. So the fact that I have one belt, you know, to show for it, it's like, shit, if I can do this, imagine what I can really do if I really put my heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen. Hopefully more belts and championships to come.
What do you attribute that to? Because you've grown a lot, I mean, since the beginning. I mean, your whole style's changed. You know, you've taken the best of so many different aspects and different trainers. What would you put that down to?
I think just working with different trainers, being open-minded, you know, constantly studying. And it's not even just from previous trainers. It's still like one of my brothers, Ronaldo. I work with him. People don't realize, like, that's also where I sharpen up my game, you know, from the Vusa Street Boxing Gym. So it's Vusi, it's my former trainer Mimo, it's my brother Ronaldo, it's a whole bunch of things, you know. So that is a huge contribution to my growth and to understanding things. It's not only am I growing in terms of the sport, but I'm growing as a man as well outside of the sport and in life, and that contributes to my boxing, understanding on a different level. So there's a whole lot of factors that contribute to that, you know, studying and understanding what to watch now, what to look for, what I should be watching when I'm watching fights, those kind of things. I mean, that comes with experience. That can only come through experience, and I feel like I'm slowly gaining that experience. I still feel like the best is yet to come. I still feel like I haven't actually given myself a chance to show what I can really do. I've had glimpses of that in sparring where I've shown what I can really do and my talents and stuff like that, but I haven't actually been able to do it in fights. I haven't had the comfortability to do it in fights yet. The last two fights I haven't had the time to do it, you know, with all due respect. So hopefully the next fight I can really showcase my skills, my slick moving, my quick punching, my sharpened up defense, and stuff like that. My ring IQ has also gone up, but I haven't been able to show it. But the time will come. The time will come where I can show all my attributes and my arsenal.
Well, who are those guys that you watch? Who are the guys that you take lessons from? I'm assuming they're all international boxers.
Definitely. Even local guys. You'll be surprised. I won't mention names, but there's guys that I watch and I try and steal. You know, I remember I got told this advice one day: you'll steal with your eyes. Steal with your eyes. So I do that constantly. My favorite is to watch Canelo. Everybody knows I'm a diehard Canelo Alvarez fan. But then I watch guys like Teofimo Lopez, Sergey Kovalev, a lot of Russian guys as well. Even Usyk, even though he's obviously a southpaw. I watch a lot of those guys just for, those guys are crafty. They're crafty, they've got game. So anywhere I can steal a little bit of this and a bit of that, shake it up in one box and see what we come out with, I'll do that. Mike Tyson even, obviously it's completely out of my weight division and my style, but there's certain things and mentalities also, not just styles, that I really watch guys for. Even Conor McGregor, his mentality, Khabib Nurmagomedov, it's MMA, but their mentalities and just the way they carry things, I take that into my game as well. So not just fighters, you know. So I've got a lot of guys. Lomachenko as well, that's another guy I watch. I watch so many fighters. People, like, it's endless the amount of fighters I watch, to be very honest.
And in terms of like your, you know, your personality and so forth, who would you liken yourself to?
In terms of boxing?
No, just your, like, outside of the ring, not your actual fighting style.
It's actually funny you say that. I was actually talking to my friend about that the other day. So my circle is very tight, and your circle and the people you keep have an influence on you. And my circles had a huge influence on me. I can be like Marco sometimes. Certain personality traits, it's like Marco. My best mate Sheldon, a lot of my personality traits, my vocabulary, the way I talk is like my best mate Sheldon. My brother Mo and Ronaldo, the mentality that I get from them, it's just those people are shaping me into the person that I'm becoming. You know, those are who I look up to. You know, so those are the people that I end up becoming with, not intentionally, but just it just happens like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's who I have to attribute my personality to become. Obviously, I've got my own personality. I'm Roarke Knapp. I'm the first and only Roarke Knapp. I've got my own personality going, but obviously there's certain things that I can't help but take in, and they come out naturally. Certain mannerisms and stuff like that comes out naturally.
So it's the close people to you.
That's why I always talk about the people in my life, my family, my friends. I always talk about them. Marco, my dad, everybody that's close to me, I become like them. That's why I always talk about how important they are to me. Like, people don't understand how important these people are to me. I can't actually express it enough.
And I want to go. The next thing I want to do is move over to, you've changed trainers now, not your coach Wussy, but strength and conditioning trainers. How did that all come about?
That came about just from watching the improvement of like Boyd Allen and Kevin Arena, and just seeing how professional and just, I don't know how to explain it, just the level that those guys are at through their conditioning with Josh from Performance Purist. So I said to Marco after this fight, I said, I think we really should get in touch and see what we can do there. I think that's the best move. So we spoke to him, and we had our first assessment yesterday, and I'm excited. The possibilities are endless. I definitely feel like the best is yet to come. I think we're going to work on something very special. My next fight will be something to watch.
So you can't say when your next fight is, but can you at least say it'll be in the first quarter of the year?
In the first half of the year.
First half of the year.
First half of the year, yeah.
All right.
So I'm working towards that. I'm laying all the groundwork now, doing all the brickwork now, so that when that fight does happen, I'll have all the I's and T's crossed and dotted. I'll have everything lined up and ready to go. So come fight night, it'll just be another box ticked off the list. That's all.
And you can't obviously say yet what the actual like how many rounds, or if it's an international opponent.
Honestly, I don't even know.
Okay.
I would be lying if I said I think it's an international opponent. I think it's a local opponent. I could be lying. I don't know what the story is. All I have to make sure is that I'm ready. Full stop. That's what it'll be.
All right, and just lastly from you, thanks for being
my family and my friends. Obviously, as I've just spoken about them. My sponsors: ACDC Dynamics, Extreme Nutrition, Cellular Boutique, Roarke from my physio, Arts and Salt Tattoo Studios, Libertas. These people that are behind me and looking after me on the daily basis. I'm always grateful for them. Those people know how much I love them and how thankful I am for them.